If you were lucky enough to grow up with a Polish grandma, you will likely remember these potato-filled pierogies from your childhood days. With this recipe, you can continue a family tradition or start a new one. We'll start with the dough. Add 2 teaspoons of salt to 4½ cups of flour in a large bowl and stir together. In a separate bowl, whisk together 2 tablespoons of melted butter with 2 cups of sour cream. 2 eggs, 1 egg yolk, and 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Now add the wet ingredients to the dry and stir until well blended. We'll cover this with a kitchen towel and let it rest for 15 to 20 minutes. While the dough is resting, let's make the filling. Place 8 peeled and cubed baking potatoes into a large pot and cover with cold water. Season to taste with salt and bring the water to a boil over medium-high heat. Now reduce the heat to medium and simmer potatoes until tender, about 15 minutes. To the cooked drained potatoes, let's add 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese, 2 tablespoons of cream cheese in place of processed cheese sauce, and season to taste with onion salt and ground black pepper. Mash this together until smooth and set aside to cool. Let's get back to the dough now. We'll divide it into 2 balls and roll each one at a time on a floured surface. You want the thickness between 1/8 and 1/4 inch, being careful not to make any tears. Cut the dough with a cookie cutter or a glass, 3 to 4 inches in diameter. Brush the outside of the dough with a little bit of water and add a spoonful of the filling to the center. Then fold the dough over, forming half circles, and press the edges together to seal. You can use a fork to crimp the edges for a decorative look like this. Repeat with the remaining dough and filling. You can freeze extra pierogies on a parchment paper-lined baking sheet. Freezing also prevents them from bursting open during cooking. To cook pierogies, bring a large pot of lightly salted water to a boil. Lower pierogies into the water in batches and cook until they float to the top, about 5 minutes. Be careful not to overcook them or they'll become soggy. What's next is up to you. Enjoy Grandma's Polish pierogies with a dollop of sour cream, or go a step further. Sauté them in oil and serve with caramelized onions to add an extra layer of flavor.